Yo, Saint here. Welcome back. If you tuned into the first video, I appreciate you. If you tuning in now, I appreciate you for clicking on the video. Even if you don't stay through the whole video, I appreciate you for clicking on the video and just figuring out what's this dude talking about? What's this video talking about? Well, it is the name of the video: Ravens versus Chiefs, Week 2 breakdown, leading up to Sunday Night Football, where the Ravens and the Chiefs will meet for the fourth time in the Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes era. Lamar Jackson 0-3 against Patty Mahomes. The last time they played, Monday Night Football, September 28th, 2020. No fans was in attendance. It was a COVID year last year. It was week 3 at Baltimore. That was the first time those teams had played each other in Baltimore. The previous times they was in Kansas City. The Chiefs won 34-20, 14-point win. Now, I know you hearing that leading like, oh man, they blasted them. Well, the game was pretty even until the second quarter. The second quarter, KC won that quarter 21-7, meaning they put up 14 more points than us. But if you look at the first, third, and fourth quarter, in the first quarter, KC 6-3. Third quarter, Baltimore 3-0. Fourth quarter, 7-7. So it was that second quarter that really killed Baltimore the first time. And of course, like I said earlier, Baltimore has not beaten Patrick Mahomes since Lamar Jackson has been the starter for us. And before we get deep into the breakdown and whatnot, let me start off by saying this. I know it's a lot of people who are going to be saying like, oh man, Lamar Jackson trash, can't beat Patrick Mahomes, blah, blah, blah. Well, I mean, Lamar Jackson 30-8 is a starter. 3 of those losses, if you take them away, they by Patrick Mahomes. You take those away, he 30-5 as a starter against everybody else he done played. Baker Mayfield, you guys like him. People like Baker, right? He 0-3 against Patrick Mahomes. You guys like Josh Allen. I like Josh Allen. 0-2 against Patrick Mahomes. He doesn't look terrible in both games. So, we don't judge those quarterbacks off of their ability or inability to beat Patrick Mahomes. So I just think it's odd that we judge Lamar off of that same standard. But that's neither here nor there. The key stats from that game on Monday night when those two teams played. Patrick Mahomes, I mean, he did whatever he wanted to do, whenever he wanted to do it. He was 31-42 from the field, 385 yards through the air, 4 touchdowns, no picks. The second quarter was crazy because the Baltimore started the game off good on their first drive. They got up the field. They ran the ball good. Lamar had some good runs. J.K. had his only good run because he only ran it once that game for 6 yards. But it was a great first drive. But ultimately that drive ended in a field goal. So when you get in field goal range or in the red zone against the Chiefs, you definitely got to score. So in this game, when the Ravens do get opportunities in the red zone, they got to come away with 7 points, not with 3, because you can't pile up 3 points and beat the Chiefs. It just can't happen. But in the second quarter, also, the Ravens' first points in that quarter was a kick return by Devin Duvernay. Now I know that's big, but when you think, I want you to think about this for a second. In that second quarter, like I said, that's the quarter that really got away from Baltimore because the Chiefs won that quarter by 14 points, by scoring 21 points, and we only put up 7, which was that kick return by Devin Duvernay. But that kick return actually might have hurt us in that game when you look back at it, because the Chiefs started off the second quarter by scoring on a underneath shovel pass to Anthony Sherman in the red zone. Then immediately Devin Duvernay scored that kick return, right? So our defense coming right back on the field after being out there. But they did eventually get a 3-and-out. But now the Ravens offense needs to get the ball either. And we need to get a field goal or a score. We can't get a ball right back and put our defense on the field. But we did. The Ravens went 3-and-out on a drop pass across the middle by Marquise Brown. And that's what led to the next drive. Pat Mahomes escaped, found McCole Hardman, ended up going on a 2nd-and-9. He ended up going deep for 20 yards to Tyreek Hill on a beautiful pass in the end zone. And then we go 3-and-out again, the Ravens, which, I mean, at this point, now you went 3-and-out 3 times. you just can't give Patrick Mahomes the ball back that many times. And the offense was doing nothing in that game, to be quite frank with you. I mean, the defense wasn't stopping nothing either. They weren't The scheme we was running was just having Mahomes pick us apart, and when they did try to blitz him, they couldn't get there. A lot of the plays in that game, big plays, was Mahomes escaping pressure and whatnot. But Lamar was 15 for 28 in that game, 97 passing yards, just one touchdown, no picks, 83 rushing yards. So he was doing a lot of running. But going back to that second quarter, um, after that other three, after our third three and out in that quarter, Clyde Edwards-Helaire broke loose for a big run, and right after that, McCole Hardman, on I guess a broken play by the defense, Mahomes did his little patented back step, and just yanked a deep bomb. I don't know if it was 50, 60 something yards, but it was a beauty. And it was a deep one off of that little BS he be doing where he backpedal. I just don't know how he does that. Like, if you can explain it to me, please do. But he hit us with one of those, and that was a touchdown to a wide open McCole Hardman. And then as we getting close to the end of the quarter, Chris Jones stripped Lamar Jackson right before the end of the quarter, but Butker ended up missing that field goal. So the Chiefs really probably should have put up 24 points in that quarter, but they settled for 21, and the Ravens just got blasted that quarter. So if you take away that quarter, which obviously you can't do, but aside from that quarter, it was a close game. So Baltimore can't have that type of quarter. Now that's easier said than done, obviously. But when you look at some of the things that happened in that game, J.K. Dobbins, one carry, like I said, for 6 yards. Mark Andrews, 3 catches for 22 yards. Marquise Brown, 2 catches, 13 yards. That can't happen. We have to be better, and that's one of the things in this game is when we obviously we're a run heavy team. We're great at running. Greg Roman, phenomenal run schemer. But we're going to have to incorporate passes. And I'm not talking about those little passes that don't go for but 1 yard, 2 yard, guys getting tackled immediately as soon as they're catching the ball. I'm talking about early and often in this game, we're going to have to threaten the Chiefs defense and let them know, listen, like, yo, we throwing this ball. We can throw this ball. We don't have to be forced to throw it. We can throw this ball. And when we able to mix in efficient throwing, I'm not saying Lamar got to go out there and throw for no 300 yards. I'm not saying nothing like that. That's goofy. But I'm talking about we can't only throw when we have to. We have to show them early in the game that we can throw the ball and mix it in with the run. Because that's the thing. Last week, when the Chiefs almost lost to the Browns, look at what the Browns was doing good. They run the ball at an extremely high clip with Chubb and Hunt. An extremely high clip. And they also have phenomenal weapons. And they had the best offensive line in football. Now, Baltimore don't have anywhere near the line that Cleveland have. They don't have the receiving core that Cleveland have, and they don't have the running back room that Cleveland have. But what Baltimore do have is Lamar Jackson. So I do think Lamar Jackson gonna have a big game, but I don't think it's as much emphasis on Lamar having a big game as the defense, because Lamar can go out there and play phenomenal, and we can still lose. Like, it just is what it is. Like, I was listening to Shannon Sharp earlier, and he said something that was like super facts. Lamar has never had a better team than Patrick Mahomes. I mean, that's just a factual statement. And really, when you break it down, he's never had a better offense than Patrick Mahomes, or a better offensive play caller than Patrick Mahomes, who has Andy Reid. But that's why I'm saying I don't think this game, as much as Lamar has to play good, which I think he will. I said in my last video that I'm not too worried about Baltimore and their offense. Lamar, I mean, since he's been in the league, offense led by Lamar average over 21 points a game. So I'm not concerned about Lamar. I'm not even concerned about the big stage. People keep making a big thing about Lamar not being able to play on the big stage. That's a lie. Lamar's been great in prime time. He just hasn't been great against Patrick Mahomes. And I think the last game he played against Patrick Mahomes, and that was really a bad game. So that really was like the last image you had of him. So it's a bit of recency bias. But as much as Lamar have to be good, the defense got to be better, in my opinion. Defense got to go out there and be great, man. They have to get home when they do call blitzes. They have to be able to put pressure on Mahomes when they only rush 3 or 4. They have to move around the pocket and dictate what he does. They cannot allow Pat Mahomes to continuously dictate what they do. It can't just be us reacting to him and their core all night, because if that happens, it will not be pretty, especially when we already have so many injuries. And that's going to be key. The secondary going to have to be smart in their assignments. They're going to have to be locked in. But more than the secondary, those front guys, those linebackers and those defensive linemen, they got to put pressure on Mahomes, bro. I mean, listen, I know Wink not going to be trying to blitz all game, and I know that's what he want to do, but listen, and I also know he's not going to just sit back and just let Pat Mahomes pick him apart after the last game. People want to make this about Lamar Mahomes, and he said earlier that it's not about him and Mahomes. It's about Baltimore, Kansas City, and that's a fact. Like Greg Roman, is his pride on the line too. He remember what happened last time his offense was out there. Wink Martindale remember what Pat Mahomes did to his defense the last time they was on the field. So this is as much a part of everybody else versus everybody else on the Chiefs, just as much as it is Lamar v. Mahomes. To me, that's the small part. We know what they're gonna show up and do. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's always gonna be about, can the other guys come to the party with Lamar, like the other guys come to the party with Pat Mahomes. Because if you really gonna look at it, it's very rare that you could look at games and say, man, Lamar cost Baltimore that game. It's rare. I mean, it just is. That's not me being a fan. That's me being honest. I remember what it was before Lamar got here. Like, we win a lot since Lamar got here. And when you look at the big games, a lot of the times it's not that Lamar couldn't do this or Lamar couldn't do that or he couldn't make that throw or he couldn't make this throw. A lot of times we asking him to do way too much. And other quarterbacks are not asked to do nearly as much as what Lamar is asked to do. Pat Mahomes has the weapons. And hey, I'm not taking a shot at Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes, obviously, to me, is the best quarterback in the NFL. It's talented as all hell. To me, the only guy in the NFL nearly as talented as him throwing the ball is Aaron Rodgers. But Pat Mahomes got Travis Kelce, who the best tight end in the game. He has McCole Hardman. He has Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He has Tyreek Hill. You look at Baker Mayfield. I think last week them not being able to win that game had to do more so on Baker than it had to do with anything else. You have to be able to close that game out if you are that quarterback and want that type of money. It just is what it is. And he couldn't get it done. And he got all the help in the world. He got the best offensive line, got the best running back core. When Odell come back, he going to have the best receiving core again. It's no excuse. Pat Mahomes was trailing most of that game. You saw Cleveland celebrating and pumping their fists and jawing every time they scored, but when Pat Mahomes and them was leading the comeback, all they did was marching up and down the field, stoically scoring and whatnot. And then when they knew that they was about to come back and win this thing, you saw them pumping up the crowd. It's scary. I'm telling you. That's why I'm glad this game in Baltimore, man. KC, man, I like that it's a team in the NFL that's scary like that, that's scary like the Chiefs. Even though Brady is just like Brady the GOAT though. So, Brady and the Bucks proved that Mahomes and them boys could be beat, but not so much, man. That's Brady, bro. That's Brady. I denied Brady's greatness for so long. That is the absolute GOAT, bro. Brady's the GOAT. So ignore what Brady did to Pat Mahomes. That's like a motherfucker built of kryptonite just beating the hell out of Superman. That ain't happening on an everyday basis. So Mahomes and KC and them boys is legit, especially in KC. So I'm grateful this game will be in Baltimore. But before all you KC fans, if it's KC fans watching the video, and I appreciate you, start shitting on Marmar. Start saying, oh, he a running back and all these just backwards, stupid jokes. Think to yourself, how great do you think Mar would be if he had Andy Reid as his coordinator? If he had all those weapons as his weapons on offense? Could you imagine how good he would be if he had Kelce replace Mark Andrews with all those clutch catches Mark Andrews has dropped compared to how many Kelce would have made for him? You know how many more wins he would have had? And remember, he only got 8 losses in the NFL in the regular season. So just think about that. for a second before you just start shitting on him and stuff. That's all I'm saying. Think about what he would be if he had, Baker Mayfield supporting cast or Stephon Diggs on his team. Think about what Josh Allen was before he got Stephon Diggs. Think about what Kyler Murray has been with those weapons he's had. And then think about what Lamar been able to do with Baltimore and for Baltimore since getting to the league. Nobody expected him to be what he was, won a unanimous MVP. None of the weapons on his team are nearly what they are on these other teams. You could literally go down and list all the top guys that you think are top quarterbacks, and you can just reel off a list of their top talents. Oh, you like Herbert? Oh, I like Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. Oh, you like Jameis Winston? Oh, I love Jameis, but I also like Alvin Kamara. And I'm slipping on the other guy's name, but the other stud receiver on that team. Like, so it's so many teams. You like Josh Allen? I like Stephon Diggs. You like Kyler Murray? I like D Hop. So it's so many quarterbacks with great receivers and supporting cast that Lamar doesn't have. And for him to be doing what he's doing, man, come on, man. Come on. Give us some credit. And to be completely honest with you, KC fans, you should hope and pray that Lamar and those boys start beating KC so you guys can have a legitimate rivalry. It's not fun just beating everybody, trust me. It'll be better if Lamar and Baltimore becomes that team and you guys beat that team when they become that team. Just like it's going to be exciting when Baltimore finally beats you guys. See what I'm saying? And they stay in the loop like Brady Manning. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But back to looking forward to the game this week. Baltimore's offensive line got to be better. I shitted on them after Monday. But listen, I'm gonna lean back on Baltimore's offensive line. This group is new. I think they're gonna be good overall. Lamar's gonna make them look way better than they are most times of the season, anyways. Ronnie Staley ain't playing this game, so Villanueva is gonna be back to left tackle. So hopefully Villanueva is way better at left tackle, his natural position, than he was last week. Another gem from Shannon Sharp. The Statue of Liberty moves better than Villanueva did. That thing ain't moved in centuries. So, the Ravens' offensive line got to be better. Can't let Chris Jones. And Chris Jones probably better than every single defensive player that we saw from the Raiders. So, yeah, we got to be tight. We got to be tight in that on that line. We got to give him more time. We can't be letting him just get blasted and have dudes running off of the edge like crazy like we did Monday night. That cannot happen. Cannot happen. Another thing that can't happen this game. Last game, the Chiefs had 516 yards, total yards of offense. We had 228. Too big of a discrepancy. That right there tells you your defense been on the field too long. First downs. Chiefs had 29. We had 16. Can't happen. Third down conversion. Chiefs went 10 for 13. We went 3 for 9. For one, they had way too many more than we had, and we didn't complete nearly enough to have that many little than they did for them to complete more than us and have more. Can't happen again. Time of possession. They had 33 minutes and 56 seconds. We had 26 minutes and 4 seconds. That can't happen with a team that don't even run the ball. Like, we can't get beat in the time of possession when they don't even run the ball. All right? That's bad on every front. We can't get beat in every single category, but we definitely can't get beat in categories that we should be beating them in. Can't happen. All right? So, you tighten that offensive line up. We fix some of those little things that would happen in the game. Like, one of the things the Chiefs like to do is throw short passes, but it's not them dinking and dunking. The Chiefs got guys who can take the ball for 10 yards or 2 yards, 3 yards, and go 40, 50, 60 yards. That's big. A lot of people, it would be dinking and dunking because they don't got the guys who they hitting that can do that. The Chiefs got that type of talent. We have to be on that. We have to be on that. We can't be looking at them do that all game and trying to react after they get a little boost in them, start making moves. That's how we going to start getting embarrassed and whatnot. So we got to be on that. Pat and Andy Reid love calling those type of plays where they can do that type of thing. So we got to be on that. Because I just know we're going to see a couple of those type of plays. And then, I think one of the biggest things in this game, Lamar said after we lost to those guys last time, like, yo, that's our kryptonite. It's our kryptonite. It is what it is. It's our kryptonite. We got to go into this game not believing that. All right, if we don't come into this game, which I'm sure our team coming into this game thinking we can win, it would be no point of professional football players, grown men, going into the game immediately thinking they're gonna lose. That would be absolutely insane. But we gotta go into this game knowing that we can beat this team, man. Especially when we at home. Imagine they come into our building and blow us out again. That's bad. The media gonna be all over us. It don't matter what happened. The media gonna kill us. That little window that we thought we had, everybody gonna be trying to shut it on us. Now I don't think it's gonna be the end of the world if we lose to the Chiefs. It's only the second game of the season, but I get it. I want to see us beat Patrick Mahomes also. And while yes, we haven't seen those other quarterbacks beat Patty Mahomes, why not us? And why not now? You know what I'm saying? So we got to protect Lamar. We got to come into the game prepared, thinking we're going to win, knowing that we can win this game. We got to get consistent pressure on Mahomes, man. We got to get home on Mahomes when we call blitzes. Like I said earlier, when we only bring in 4 or 3, we got to get there. We got to be able to move that thing around. We got to be able to get him off balance. If we just stand back there letting him pick us apart, boom, 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 it's an L. Don't matter what Lamar do on offense. That dude Patty Mahomes over there, a different type of animal. I'm just telling you. Gotta limit that Kelsey damage, man. Gotta limit the Travis Kelce damage. Listen, bro, the thing that I love the most about Travis Kelce, dude just finds ways to get open for Pat Mahomes. It don't matter where he at on the field. It's just he got a knack. My man's got a knack for just getting open. He can always find a space in any defense. We gotta limit that. We gotta keep guys on him. We gotta pay attention. Clark, because I think that's who probably gonna have the most to do with him. Clark, Hump, All Pro Marlowe. I mean, we gotta be ready. We can't let Travis Kelce just pick us apart all game, because Travis Kelce picks you apart almost like a quarterback at this point, where he just is looking and seeing, okay, where they gonna leave a space at this time? Where they gonna leave a space at this time? And you look up and this dude got like 10 catches for nearly 200 yards, and you're like, Jesus Christ. So, got to limit the Travis Kelce damage, bro. Have to. And I'm gonna tell you something. Mike Tomlin, the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Steeler fans, if it's a Steeler fan watching this, apologies. Last week, on the last video, I had said that the Browns and the Bengals won. I meant the Steelers and the Bengals won Sunday. So that's my bad. The Steelers had came back and beat the Bills. So that's my fault. But on the Pat McAfee show today, Mike Tomlin had said, listen, we want to win. We play attack and defense, but from time to time, we're willing to stray away from our personality in order to do so. I think Josh Allen and company wanted us to blitz, so we chose not to. And that right there, for one, fire quote by Mike T. Still is lucky to have him. And if you didn't see Mike Tomlin on Pat McAfee's show, you should go check that out if you haven't seen that. If you always wanted to hear Mike Tomlin talk or something like that, see if he had a personality, go check it out. He was on the Pat McAfee show today. But in what he said, the Ravens and Wink Martindale have to take that. Listen, we know we want to be an attacking defense. We want to bring the pressure and whatnot. But sometimes we got to stray away from our personality in order to win, because that's what we want to ultimately do. And we're going to have to do that. And when we do that in the game, we're going to have to be efficient with it. We're going to have to be on point with it. Everybody going to have to be on their job in order to beat this team. That's the type of team this is that we playing against. Point blank, period. It is what it is. I think you do those things, and Baltimore will put itself in position to win. Like I said, that game from last year, close game if not for the second quarter. The first game was highly contested. The third and the fourth was a close game. So, like I said, it's just one mistake here or there is what turned games into those type of things. But to end the video, or to close out till the end of the video, I want to repeat something that Skip Bayless said. When talking, because Skip Bayless said he thinks that Baltimore can win this game. And the reason so, I think he's that good when talking about Lamar Jackson. And I agree with Skip 100%. I believe the ultimate reason that Baltimore, while I said I don't believe it's all up to Lamar as the main guy, because I think the defense is going to play just as much as big, if not bigger, a role. Let's say the defense still doesn't like play up to par. Let's say other guys don't show up to the party. It's still a little bit of faith that this team can beat the Chiefs because of Lamar Jackson is that good. I'm telling you guys. I didn't say he was Patrick Mahomes. I didn't say he was Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. But come on, man. Get a man his flowers. He that good. So, I think it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a close game. But I think finally Patrick Mahomes playing in Baltimore with that rough crowd, loud crowd is going to be crazy. I think Baltimore will finally beat the Kansas City Chiefs. And I think we're going to beat them by 3 points. I think it's going to come down to a game-winning field goal, except for this time Baltimore going to be leading that charge down the field. The defense won't have a chance to mess it up this week. And I think Justin Tucker is going to kick a game-winning field goal to get Lamar his first win over Patrick Mahomes. And more importantly, the Baltimore Ravens' first win over a Patrick Mahomes-led team. I mean, remember, Andy Reid and John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh come from the Andy Reid tree. I'm sure he's tired of losing the teacher. I'm sure. So I think it's going to be a great game, close game. But like I said, I think the Baltimore Ravens will ultimately pull it out in the end. That is not me being biased. That is just my opinion. Now, with that, I hope you enjoyed the video. I appreciate you for clicking on the video. I really do. Because you didn't have to click on the video. Even if you didn't stay through the whole video, I appreciate you clicking on it. If you did make it to this part of the video, I appreciate you even more. One day, I might be big. And I might get to have a conversation with Aaron Donald, bro. And I might get to have, like, people in the comment section asking me questions to ask to Aaron Donald. Could you imagine that shit? Could you imagine that? I'm sitting down with the Aaron fucking Donald. Me either. It's crazy. But I appreciate you. Good night. Sign out.